Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Marvel Champions unboxing for a hero pack for Nightcrawler, everyone's favorite German swashbuckler, teleporter, swab, faith man, however you want to call him, elf. Yes, we got Nightcrawler in here. He's getting towards the end of the X-Men era. As we had, we started with Avengers, and then we jumped into Guardians, and then we had some crossover, we had some Spider-Man, then we got into, then we started the X-Men with X-Men, X-Force, and then now we're into the Age of Apocalypse era, which has just some more crossover between both groups, and then we'll be heading shortly into S.H.I.E.L.D., which will be very different, not some non-superpowered people for a little bit. Getting back to the roots of it. Alright, so what does Nightcrawler have for us? So, just as a reminder for people that haven't been following along with every other set, we have the new card type, player side steams. The player side steams work just like regular side steams, except they go in the hero's deck. There's a subject to limit, having at most one player side steam, one or two players start of the game. Alright, two at most if there are 3 or 4 players. But that's what they do is they're in your hero deck. They play out, then when they're on the field, they're treated as side steams for all other purposes. Anything that affects side steams, thwarting them, anything else. Then when you defeat them, though, it's because they generally don't have any negative effects on you other than being out there. And then when you defeat them, you gain a bonus. It's just like side missions that the X-Men start doing. Sometimes we're going after Magneto, but to doing this, first we need to go stop the Reavers. Or someone, heard about this mutant's in trouble, we need to go rescue them. Or someone needs to go help Cable in the future, while the rest of us, are trying to take out Apocalypse in the past. So it just gives you a little bit extra bonus for doing it at the risk of now you have to spread your thwarting around. We have some new keywords. Alliance. When a player declares their intention to play an alliance card, any players may help pay the cost. Featured term, tuck. When the ability tells you to tuck a card under another card, place the tuck card face up under the other card. The tuck card is not in play. And then featured keyword, Victory X. When a card with Victory X keyword is defeated, place it in the victory display instead of its owner's discard. While the victory display, X indicates how many victory points that card is worth. Cool. So that Nightcrawler, he's going to be our protection character, which makes sense for Nightcrawler. To be a protector. As opposed to the other ones, he's not really aggressive. I mean, there's times when he can get angry and be an aggressive character, but I wouldn't necessarily call him aggressive. Justice, he has been. Again, I think most superheroes have been one of the 4 aspects at some point or another, which is the whole point of this. Maybe more currently when he's been posing as Spider-Man. But I think generally Justice is he has a swashbuckling sense, but more faith than justice, I would say. So at least leadership and protector. Protector makes sense. He's trying to keep everyone else safe, alive, teleporting people away, getting people where they need to be. Definitely, I think, makes most sense for him. Leadership, I don't know if he's ever... I don't know what to say. Was he actually the leader of Excalibur? I know he was one of the main things, but I don't know if he was ever officially the leader. Pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and look at what he does for us. So Nightcrawler, the hero, has 2 thwart, 1 attack, and 3 defense. So defensive goes with protection, thwarting. X-Men keyword, rapid teleportation action. Spend 1 resource on any type to return 1 copy of BAMF from your discard pile to your hand. Limit once per phase. Let's see if I can get this right. Reversing hung. Mind if I cut in? Hand size 5, hit points 9. Alright, so he's going to get his BAMF resource. I am going to jump in and we're going to take a look. Or not BAMF resources, BAMF cards. So we're going to just go ahead and jump and take a quick look at that. So you get 3 copies of those. There's 0 cost upgrades. Attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy. Hero interrupt defense. When attached to enemy attacks, discard this card. Declare Nightcrawler as a defender without exhausting him. Ooh, so he can use his 3 defense to block. Now, so you can force block on people. Since he also has to exhaust, he can still do his regular block, or he can be ready to attack the next turn. Gives him a lot of good things. But again, you can attach this to multiple enemies, and then when attach enemy attacks, so you can attach it to, if you have 3 of them, you can attach up to 3 of them. And then, boom, boom, boom. You can block 3 attacks during that turn. Shows him be able to get around. So we're going to set those off to the side. But it says, yeah, spend a resource of any type to return a copy of BAMF from a discard out of your hand. So you can potentially play 4 in a turn. If we flip to his alter ego, we have Kurt Wagner. Recovery 3. He has the mutant trait action. Search your deck for a copy of BAMF. Add it to your hand limit once per round. So there we go. So you can find it. Get it into your hand with his alter ego, and then once in your discard pile, you can use his to get it back into your hand. Even in dark times, there's beauty and peace to be found. And he gains an extra hand size up to 6. Cool. So you're going to be playing around with his BAMF, and I'm sure he's going to have other cards that will reference that. So we're going to just set him off to the side so we can refer to him quick. His signature ally is Day Tripper Amanda Sefon. I did not expect to see her in here. Just his girlfriend, sister. I'm not really sure which relationship they ended up landing on for this at times, like stepsister kind of thing. Of course, it's adopted that way, so it's, but yeah, she's like a magician, user part of Excalibur, but she hasn't been seen as much recently. So she's 2-cost ally, 2 thwart, and 2 attack. Mystic keyword. Response. After Day Tripper enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a copy of BAMF and attach it to an enemy. Deal 1 damage to each enemy with a copy of BAMF attached. Nice. So you just help you find one and then play it. So it's like, you know you're going to play her. Go ahead and use up one of the BAMFs if you can for something else. That's awesome. I love that almost all the X-Men characters have their own location. I wish they had almost have done that for all the other characters. Or, releasing a special pack would be cool, like an update pack for the old ones. That'd be kind of cool. Kurt's Chapel, 1-cost support. Location, Kurt Wagner gets a +1 recovery. Alter ego response. After you make a basic recovery, exhaust Kurt's Chapel and choose a player. That player draws a card. Cool. So now you can help other players out. That's fun. Kurt's Cutlasses, 2-cost upgrade. Weapon counts as 2 restricted cards. Nightcrawler gets +1 attack, +1 defense, and gains Retaliate 1. I've got the 2 swords, 1 for each of you. Nice. It's kind of cool though. It's also like on the same card, not like he has 1 cutlass and he has a second copy of a cutlass. But yeah, that's very cool though. Plus retaliate, so he's forcing defense with block, and then now he does an extra point of damage right back to him. That's nice. And then he has a Prehensile Tail, 1-cost upgrade, superpower. You can control 1 additional upgrade that has the restricted keyword. So if you can get him additional weapons, he can have a 3rd weapon. Resource, exhaust Prehensile Tail, generate a wild resource for an event. Nightcrawler's Terror allows him to perform attacks others cannot. Cool. So this will plays events quicker. 2 copies of Pork and Punch. X-Men are down there fighting. Ported up. Uppercutting. Looks like Azrael possibly. Or are they on like a ship? So it might be a danger room scenario maybe. 2-cost event. Attack and superpower. Hero action attack. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. Deal 3 damage to each enemy with the BAMF attached. So this is what's cool about it. So BAMF can really be set up to be as a defensive ability. When an enemy attacks, discards card. Okay, so you have to, if he has BAMF, he has to use it. It's not a may effect. But you can place him on them, and instead you can do this, do damage. Still hitting each one of them. But then you still have that BAMF attack. It doesn't de-attach them, so he's still ready for defense. Nightcrawler can engage several enemies at once by teleporting as fast as he can strike. We have 1 copy of Teleport Drop. 2-cost event, attack superpower, hero action attack. Discard a copy of BAMF from an enemy. Deal 8 damage to that enemy and stun it. When you look like a demon, it can be tempting to play the part. That's cool too. Again, right? Discard it, and then you can actually spend your hero action to pull it back to your hand, play it again, have it on somebody else. You can put it back on that guy. That'd be hilarious, right? Deal 8 damage to them, stun them, and then put it back onto them so it's ready for the next time. That's cool. 2 copies of Scout Ahead. 1 cost event. Superpower and Thwart. Hero action Thwart. Remove up to 3 threat from a steam. You may discard a copy of BAMF from your hand or remove 3 threat from another steam. 1 moment limiting. Let me make sure it's safe. That's cool too. Right? It's another way to use BAMF as a resource. Port Away. 1 copy of Port Away. Ooh, it's when he had his X-Men Red costume when he had his beard. Which is always kind of odd. 0 cost event. Superpower. Action. Discard a copy of BAMF from your hand. Change forms and ready your identity. I'll be back. Ha. That's neat, right? So if you have one in your hand, you could, instead of always just playing them on villains for your other effects, you could keep one at a moment's notice. Either I've been recovering, boom, I can switch in, port into the field, and be able to attack or defend, right? Or you can port away and be able to recover. And then his last 2 cards are Tally Ho, 1 copy event. Defense Superpower. With hero response defense. After BAMF makes Nightcrawler the defender of an attack, return that copy of BAMF to your hand. Deal 3 damage to the attacking enemy. Great. Extra synergy. So you throw BAMF on a guy, you're ready to defend against them. You can do the 1 port punch to then do extra damage to them. You can either discard it then to do 8 damage with port drop, or you could hang on to it for use Tally Ho. Then when they all start attacking you, you can just return it back to your hand, doing an additional 3 damage to them. They have their Cutlass. That means they're also gonna attack you, take a point of damage from Retaliate, and then they're gonna take an additional 3 from this. So yeah, you can do lots of cool synergy with him just porting around with all his cards. I think he's gonna burn through his deck kind of fast this way. But again, we have all the other cards in the deck. It's not just his deck we have. We have his protection cards. So let's start with his half-sister, Rogue Anna Marie. 4 cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack, X-Men with a 3 health. Action. Deal 1 damage to another friendly character. Until the end of the round, Rogue gains each of that character's traits and adds them a character's printed thwart and attack to her matching powers, limit once per round. Nice. So she just straight up deals 1 damage to another. It's another friendly character. That's the keyword. But yeah, there's some guys that like they can heal, or they're gonna probably, be defeated anyhow. Let them take them out, and then at least she gains the bonuses, and at full health, she can head in there. So it gives her a lot extra options. And then we also got North Star, Jean-Paul Bouvier. They're on the X-Men together for a little while, one of the newer teams. Interesting though is I would have almost loved to see him more if they did a Alpha Flight set, which I doubt they'd ever do, or even have him be a main. I guess he could still be a main character. Ally, 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, X-Men with 3 health. Interrupt. When a boost card is turned face up during attack, deal 1 damage to North Star. Cancel all boost icons on that card. Bad guys aren't scary when they move faster. When you move faster than they blink. Nice. Would there have been a better another ally for Nightcrawler? That maybe it wouldn't hasn't been seen. That's the thing is he's, unless you're gonna start dropping in Excalibur members like Captain Britain or Shadowcat, which Shadowcat's already been in some of the sets. Colossus has already been in the sets. Any of the main X-Men have been in there. I think Banshee might have been the only other one, but I don't know how often Nightcrawler and Banshee hung out. I'm trying to think who else Nightcrawler would have had hung out with. You could have possibly done Mystique, but that would have been maybe a stretch as having her as a hero ever. Sounds she's been in that in this game, or I don't think you're gonna have her for this game. But yeah, I think it would have been like an Excalibur person it would have had to been. I don't think they've really done too much. They have done Captain Britain's in one of the sets, so it would have been cool to get another Excalibur member over North Star. Anywho, enough of me rambling. 3 copies of Change of Fortune. Speaking of Shadow Cat right there, and Silver Samurai. 1 cost upgrade. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Response: after defeating an enemy during the villain phase, exhaust this card to draw 2 cards. Nice. If it's teleporting, he has ways to easily and retaliate. He usually defeat lots of guys. 3 copies of Under Control. Here's Rogues and Exodus. 0 cost upgrade tactics. Attached to a minion once per minion. Response: after a hero defends against the attached minion's attack and takes no damage, deal 4 damage to the attached minion. Okay, cool. So yeah, he can set this up to how a guy is going to be a little bit weaker. He can sustain with his 3 defense, and then he can jump in and take them out. Cool. 3 copies of Come Get Me, Bub. 0 cost event tactic. Hero action. Discard cards from the encounter deck until you discard a minion. Put that minion into play, engage with you. Heal 3 damage from your identity and give your identity a tough status card. Nice. So way to like draw out villains so you can deal with them on your own terms. 3 copies of Powerful Punch. So this is a Shadow Cat. Punching someone. I'm not sure who that is. At first glance, I thought it was Magneto, but it's not Magneto's helmet. 2 cost event, attack and defense. Hero interrupt, attack, defense. When an enemy initiates an attack, deal 4 damage to that enemy. Just hits them before they even hit you. How about a Knuckle Sandwich? And we got 3 copies of Riposte, in Wolverine and Silver Samurai. 1 cost event, defense. Hero interrupt, defense. When your hero defends against an attack, it gets +2 defense for that attack. If you take no damage from the attack, deal 3 damage to the enemy. I like that. Especially, again, you have Nightcrawler and try and force guys to attack him. We have 2 copies of the Power of Protection. Max resource card, max 2 per deck, double the number of resources it generates when playing protection green cards. I do like these. These are really fun. Have a couple in there just for some extra resources. And our last protection card is going to be Astonishing X-Men, which is our player side steam. So 1 cost, victory 0, response. After an X-Men character defends against an enemy attack and takes no damage, remove 1 threat from this steam. When defeated, stun and confuse each enemy in play. Just again, there's no downside to having this out other than the fact that it's going to trigger anything else that has side steam. So if there's another character or side steam that says digging, this bonus for having this many side steams in play, this will also count towards it. But otherwise it's not actively hurting you. And you can keep doing the response to keep removing threat that way, or you could just thwart it like normal. But you can kind of then play around when you want to get rid of it and stun and confuse a bunch of enemies in play. Really fun. But again, you can only have 1 or 2 at a time depending on the number of players. So if every player has some, you're going to have to watch out. You don't want to load your deck up with like 5 or 6 of them because you're not going to be able to use them. Alright, then we do have some basic cards. We have a Gambit, Remy Levi, 3 cost ally, X thwart, X attack, Thief, X-Men with a health of 3. Good to go with Rogue, right? Kind of cool. X is the number of boost icons on the card under Gambit. Response: after Gambit enters play, let the top 3 cards of the encounter deck and tuck 1 of them so only the boost field is visible. So depending on the higher card you take, you can give him more boost icon, or get more X's on his thing. Nice. And as soon as he defeated, that card just goes to that discard pile, which is also a way to get a card out of that deck. That's pretty fun. You might get a card that's worse, but has less boost icons. Or a card that's maybe not as bad, but has more boost icons. Depends. We have Moira McTaggart, who's a 2-cost support and a persona. Play only if your identity has the mutant trait. Response: after a mutant alter ego changes into his hero form, exhaust Moira McTaggart. That hero's controller draws a card. Then you get a card for basically going into healing. This is what she does. Then we have our energy resources, max 1 per deck. Genius and resource. Or, sorry, strength. So we have our 3 extra energy cards. Cool. Awesome. So that's Nightcrawler's basic thing. What is his obligation? The Crisis of Faith. Give to the Kurt Wagner player. You may flip to the Alter Ego form and choose Exhaust Kurt Wagner, remove the Crisis of Faith from the game. So basically lose an entire turn. I'll be able to attack and do stuff like that. Or discard each attack and defense event from your hand and then discard this obligation. Or get rid of it temporarily. So pretty standard. Alright, then we do have his nemesis. Azrael. Or Azizel? I don't know, it's probably Azizel. Minion, 2 costs, or 2 steam, 3 attack, 3 health, elite, and Neophoma. He has quick strike. Azizel cannot have upgrades attached. Boost, deal Azizel to Kurt Wagner player face down in an encounter. So, would he have a better nemesis than technically his dad? Depending on which canon, what time you want to look at, because he's had several different iterations of how this has worked. Again, Mystique might have been, but I think she's Rogue's nemesis, so that works better for that. But yeah, I'm trying to think if he has like a direct other person. The only other person I think they could have maybe done was William Stryker, because a lot more famous for God Loves, Man Kills storyline. But yeah, anyway, let's hop into this. He has Brimstone Dimension. All of this could be yours if only you would join me. When defeated, the player who defeated this team finds Azizel and deals him to themselves in a face-down counter. He just finds him and brings him to fight you. He also gets a sword, Azizel Sword Attachment. Attached to Azizel, otherwise attached to the villain. Attacked enemies. Attacks gain piercing and hero response after attached enemy attacks you. Discard 1 random card in your hand to discard this card. So he gets to attack you, and then you can discard a random card to make him discard it. Did it not say he can't attach stuff? He cannot have upgrades attached. So you can't BAMF him. Makes sense. And then 2 copies of Brimstone Strike. Treachery. When revealed, Alter Ego, find Azizel and reveal him. He steams. When you reveal hero, find Azizel and reveal him. Azrael delights in frustrating his opponents by teleporting in and out of combat. But it's just gonna find him quicker. Cool. Then we have Nightcrawler's deck list for anyone that wanted to see the numbers quick. And then we're going to look at the bonus cards for the set. Alright, so Nightcrawler's bonus cards, we're going to get 3 copies of the Aggression card, Combined Forces, Cyclops, Emma Frost, and Magneto. 1 cost event, Alliance, so anyone can help pay for it, even though it costs 1. Hero action, exhaust an X-Force character and an X-Men character and defeat a non-elite minion. Boy, did you ever choose the wrong mutants on the wrong day. So this is neat. This is an extra thing they've been doing the last couple of characters, tying the X-Force teams and the X-Men teams together a little bit better. Yeah, so you have both of them. You can take out a higher level guy quicker. And then we have 3 copies of the Justice Gunboat Diplomacy. There's Cable and Hope Summers. 1 cost event, attack thwart with also Alliance hero action. Attacking thwart. Exhaust X-Force character and X-Men character. Remove X threat from one of the teams in play and deal X damage among enemies in play where X is a combined thwart of 2 exhausted characters. Cool. Here we get higher guys. Also remember, you can remove threat from your own player side scheme. So in Cable, actually really wants to play player side scheme. So this would be a great one to actually attach him into, because on that way he could use this to help remove his and get him off the board quicker. Nice. So we don't get 1 for leadership though. I would have liked the 1 leadership card, like 1 extra character. That would have been kind of cool. Alright, then we have a new encounter, the Crazy Gang. These are Excalibur Village. A little out there, but still fun to get something odd like this once in a while. Forced response. After a non-elite minion schemes against a player, deal that minion to the player as a face-down counter. Then, if there is more than one player in the game, pass the face-down counter card to the next player. Interesting. So after elite minion schemes against a player, deal it, so they're going to disappear, and then now you have to look for them again. Interesting. We have the Queen of Hearts. 0 steam, 1 attack, 4 health. Criminal and Queen. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Crazy Gang. Side steam, reveal it. If it is already in play, deal yourself a face down counter card. Off with his head. The Jester. 0 cost, or 0 steam, 1 attack. Criminal, 5 health. When revealed, you're confused. If you're already confused, discard a support card you control. I'll kick you in the face with fun. And that is... guy in the pink hair, why can't I think of his name? He's like an Omnimorph character. He was part of the Avengers, not the Avengers Academy, but when they were in the camps. I think it was also, I think he helped Deadpool out in... oh, is that what it is? This is not... I was thinking this was a Nightcrawler Excalibur thing. It might have been at one point, but it's a Mercs with Merc set. Executioner, 0 steam, 2 attacks. These guys don't steam at all. When revealed, Executioner attacks a friendly character with the fewest remaining hit points. This attack defeats an ally and remove that ally from the game. The Queen of Hearts keeps him busy with her catchphrase off with her head. Nice. Tweedledope, 0 steam, 2 attack, Brute and Criminal. When revealed, you are stunned. If you're already stunned, discard an upgrade you control. And then there's Deadpool again. Off with his head. Treachery. When revealed, each minion activates against a player it is engaged with. If no minion activates this way, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded and revealed. It's basically all she ever says. Interesting. These guys don't steam, they just attack. If they have their thing out, every time they attack, they become encounter cards. But since I can also work with other characters, it makes that very interesting. Fun little just oddball one to toss in there. That's why it's nice that it's optional. Alright, so that's what we have for the Nightcrawler set. Yeah, his deck is really neat, just to bounce around, doing stuff, playing with that BAMF. You attach it to a guy, you hang on to it. How do you use it? And this way you can bring them back to keep recycling them. His protection stuff is really nice too. There's lots of stuff like that you block, which he wants to forcefully do with BAMF. Gets extra abilities for that. He has some really cool mechanics in there. Yeah, so that's what we have for Nightcrawler. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys probably next time. Next hero out will be Magneto. Not for sure when. Hit me up in the comments if you'd like to. See you guys later. Bye.